Hello, dear friends. There is confusion of ideas, and I want to clarify some basic concepts. Opinion piece. From Pisces to Aquarius, change is always difficult. Purification or growth. The Ascension is not a religion, it is a tangible historical process. Resistance to transformation. Let's start. Is it any wonder the chaotic turbulence in the world right now? As you enter a new frequency shift or on such a massive scale, there is resistance to that transformation. Pisces is control and oppression, a lower frequency existence. Aquarius is peace and liberation, a higher frequency existence. Change is difficult for many, and that is what we are seeing now on the world stage. Buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, because big changes are coming. According to Terry Wade, the Piscean age is said to have been characterized by intense religious influence. It is associated with the spread of an organized, institutionalized, and manipulated Christianity, and the importance of faith and devotion. Pisces is considered to be a mutable and aquatic sign. No, no, is not. That's not correct. It's a sign of air, not of water, which has been linked to emotional sensitivity and spiritual connection. The age of Aquarius brings with it a focus on innovation, technology, equality, and collaboration. Aquarius is an air sign and is assigned characteristics of forward thinking and focus on the world community. The age of Aquarius is expected to promote a greater interest in social justice and global problem solving. All creation is cyclical and always has a beginning and an end, but the end is always a transformation of a new beginning. We are currently at that moment. That is the cycle of experience that we have been in for thousands of years, called Pisces, is coming to an end, and we are now transitioning into a new cycle of experience called Aquarius. Our planet revolves around our Sun every 365 days, and our Sun makes one revolution around Alcyone every 25,630 years. In turn, Alcyone makes one revolution around the center of the galaxy every 225 million years. Alcyone is the central sun of the Pleiades. On December 21st, 2012, we passed the precession of the equinox, which was the beginning of a completely new cycle, the beginning of a completely different reality, the end of one revolution of our sun around Alcyone, and the end of one revolution of Alcyone around the center of the galaxy, a new era in Aquarius. Remember that each constellation emits a certain frequency, a different reality, so it would take sense that when we transition into Aquarius, we would receive a whole new reality. What the precession of the equinox means is that the Earth completes a cycle around the 12 constellations during 25,630 years. We spend about 2,000 years or so in each era, in each constellation. Growth. One might ask if what we are promoting here is a new religion. I don't think so. What we are doing rather is a chronicle of two aspects of the purification phase of Ascension that we are involved in. Steve Biko opines. It is a process of self-discovery and personal development in which one seeks to improve, learn, and evolve throughout life. This process could involve learning new skills, overcoming challenges, expanding consciousness, and personal transformation. In many traditions, spiritual growth is seen as a pathway to self actualization and connection to a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in life. It can involve practices such as meditation, internal reflection, the search for knowledge, and the enhancement for personal qualities such as compassion, gratitude, and empathy. It is true that our ascension is what the prophets meant when they used words like salvation and redemption. There is religious testimony of the advent of the age of Aquarius and of the ascension that heralds it. But the ascension itself is not a religion, but a tangible historical process. We call this phase of ascension responsibility, in which the dark ones are removed from their position of power. The part in which beings of light get rid of their dense load of displeasures and problems is called growth. It is characterized by a movement called emergence. This is the time to commit to our own personal growth, to release what we will not take with us. What does growth mean? Abandon our embedded patterns, strategies, acts, and frauds. To let go of our embedded patterns, we must first become aware of them. So, the work of growth involves first increasing our awareness on how to be. The more we let go of our constructed self, the more we reveal the natural and native purity and innocence that we are below everything, says the Archangel Michael. I am God when I am not ego. Gentleness. Beneath the dross is all the beauty, the power, the gentleness, the sweetness of who you are. It is the longing for innocence, sweetness, and purity that the Mother has filled you with her tsunami of love. Within purity is clarity, is love, and a broader, higher level of understanding. It is not just an intellectual understanding, it is wisdom of the heart, and that allows you to proceed in a smoother way, not in a way where you feel like you have your finger in the dam, or that you are pushing the river in the opposite direction. If you are expanding, you don't go from third degree to a physical degree in a week. Physic, doctor degree, I mean. Every time you go into transformative love, it is very easy. It's not a completely dramatic moment like samadhi, but it is a moment. So we are literally climbing the stairway to heaven one step at a time. Purification means completing our old business of dislikes, grievances, resentments, and all the things that keep us dense here. Buddha did it. Modern interpreters of it do. Not leaving our old baggage is what keeps us without enlightenment. Our problems are disorders whose experience is incomplete. We refuse to experience the feelings we felt back then, and so we get stuck in them. What we resist persists. The antidote is the truth will set us free. We have to discover the origin of the discomfort and then complete the experience of it. The unresolved past is fate. It repeats itself until we have the courage to work together to face it. Discovering its origin, facing it, experiencing it to its fullness frees him and us. We are helped in this by the growing energies of love, which make it easier to identify and release a problem. What we don't clean up will be forgiven us later, but the intention is that we do as much as work as we can for its educational value, and because the debts we incurred are ours alone to pay off. No one can do the liberation for us. Everyone must do their job and assume their responsibility. Reset News. Charlie Watt affirms that the White Hats control 100% of the destiny of humankind. He adds, in quote, that we have had some obstacles along the way, but nothing can stop what is happening. Charlie and his family visited Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago earlier this year. He said there have been 107 attempts on Trump's life, the latest last week. C.G.I.'s Morgan opines that the main goal of politicians seems to be to make the people of their nations as miserable as possible by passing absurd laws. Jean Decode reveals the technology that has been hidden from humankind for thousands of years in the underground bases of Dulce, New Mexico, where clones are made, Dagway, Utah, and at the Denver, Colorado airport, which has several levels to harbor various species. More than 1,600 scientists signed a declaration denying a climate emergency. Economy. Macron believes that the international context has hardened and that there is a risk that Europe will weaken. India abandons the dollar and buys a million barrels of oil with rupees for the first time. Stable coins are causing quite a stir in the payments arena as a vehicle for non-speculative transactions. The metals market has been controlled so far. Inflation continues to rise and countries around the world are starting to drive up the price of gold right now. These pressures may force gold to decouple from treasuries and move to real values in the near term. China. Fires in Beijing, Tianjin, and Shanghai, according to CGI's Morgan. People has not recovered yet from the floods in Hebei and Heilongjiang, nor from the earthquake in Shandong, while fires has broken out in large cities in recent days. China is sounding more and more alarms. Its economic weakness extends throughout the world. China was supposed to drive a third of world economic growth in 2023. Evergrande closes with an 80% drop on the Hong Kong stock market after a 17-month commercial suspension. The Hong Kong Central Bank issued $800 million worth of blockchain-based green bonds. China reaches 6,000 meters deep in the Earth's crust, with a final expected depth of 1,100 meters. The well is located inside the Great Taklamakan Desert. Russia. Russia's economy has begun to collapse from the impact of sanctions. Russia's current account is down 85% in the first 7 months of 2023 due to falling oil and gas revenues and skyrocketing costs. During the BRICS summit, Russia warns that the dollarization is irreversible and that the momentum is building. Spain. The arrival of a cold drop in Spain this Friday will bring rain and the maximum will not exceed 25 degrees Celsius. The Spanish tourism sector closes a record season with an occupancy rate of more than 93%. The reserve of water for consumption in Spain falls below 30% for the first time in 2023, after the destruction of more than 100 reservoirs. Americas. Hurricane Idalia strengthens and advances towards Florida and the states of the East Coast. The Supreme Court of Chile condemns 7 soldiers for the murder of Victor Jara. One of the 7 condemned soldiers commits suicide before entering prison. Argentina protests against Chile regarding the limits of the Atlantic continental shelf. Argentina agrees with Brazil an instrument to finance exports for $600 million. The Brazilian Petrobras signs a cooperation agreement with the Chinese oil giant. Bolivia will preside over the regional platform against trafficking and smuggling of immigrants. Bolivia will access Russian and Chinese technology to obtain lithium. A magnitude 6.2 earthquake shakes the Atlantic coast of Panama. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.